Hi, I'm Thelma and my channel is Seasonal Crafts and Creations. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. After today's DIY, if you're new and you haven't had the chance to yet to like my videos or subscribe to my channel and click that bell right next to it so you won't miss any future uploads, then I hope if you like today's content, you take the time to do that. And by watching my videos and subscribing to my channel, not only will you become a member of my family here on YouTube, which I would really love to have you, you will also be entered into the giveaway contest that I have going on. And so not to take up a lot of the time, I'll go ahead and leave information about the contest down in the description box. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on these 6 Easter DIYs. Have a good day. Okay, for our first project, I already wrapped around the green burlap ribbon, and it took 5 rows, and all you do is just start from the back, glue it on, and wrap it just like I showed in the video. And now we're going to take some greenery that's previously been cut up, any kind of greenery you like. I have these, just your greenery from the Dollar Tree. This came from, I think it was Walmart, but you, like I said, get a lot of different types of greenery and take it and use your glue gun. Put you some on the tip and just find out where you want to put it in, and you have to use a little elbow, stick that in there, and aim it in the direction you want. Alright, there's that one. And the good thing with this, you can just shape it any way you want it. And then go ahead and do your next one. I'm just going in the direction of to stick it under the ribbon and in it. That way the glue dries and it's stuck real good and secure. Alright. Now get you some of your other greenery and just stick it in there. Anywhere to cover it up. And then some of your ribbon is going to show. That's why I chose, I didn't have any of the brown burlap. And when I went to the Dollar Tree, they didn't have any either. But I had a bunch of this green, and I figured that would work just as good. And like I said, just take a bunch of different ones and spread them out. And if you need some in the center of the greenery, just put some in the center and push down. Make sure you don't burn your fingers. And now I'm going to get, I'm using the pink roses, and I used about that much of the stem. So just put you some glue on that. And I'm trying to make it center. you might have to just lift that ribbon up from where it's so tight. Okay. And then get some of this little berries that I cut. Put some of them. And some more of this greenery here. Put some anywhere. What I do is I'm trying to work on one section at a time and getting it mostly filled up with the greenery so you can see how to do it, and then go on all the way around. And then I have this kind. Let's just stick it right here. And then get some, I have some baby breath, and I cut it in pieces with just about that much on it. And we're going to put it just around the roses. And then this little one that I just showed you, I laid it down there and forgot about it. But just put some glue on the end. And just stick it in there. And let's do the same thing going all the way around the end. Okay, I went ahead and found my finger guards, and as you can see, working over, I just put the roses and the greenery and little flowers, and these things I picked off of, they hung down off the flowers, and that's where I got a lot of my greenery, like this from. And once you do it the way I showed you on this one, and then you just continue to work your way around. And if you see any naked spots, just go ahead and get your greenery. Put some glue directly on the burlap. Or you can also, once you get most of it covered up, the burlap ribbon, you can use Spanish moss, but I can't because of the kittens that I have. They'll be getting all in it, and I don't know if it would make them sick or what. And I put baby's breath on each side of the roses, as you can see here. And I just put it directly on the edge and let the flowers hold it up while it's drying. Make sure you push down. And then get you some more. Here's some of that little flowers. It's just flowers that I'd cut off and used on different projects. And get some more greenery. Get you some baby breath and put on the other side. And it's your decision on how much baby breath you want to use. I'm just going to have to pick a different one that had a stem that didn't have any baby breath on it. And I set my scissors and cutters somewhere. Just put this on both sides of your rose. And just arrange your flowers. Now I need a baby breath on the other side of this one. And just stick it right in with the greenery. And if it's got a stem like this one did, just shove it right down into the burlap and then bend the stem towards coming straight up. And then go around. If you see any big spots that, like I said, if you're doing Spanish moss, which really would look fantastic. I mean, it would make it really stand out. But if you have little ones or anything, you probably just want to go ahead and use the extra greenery and little stems of flowers. And like this is on the outer side here. And just make sure it sticks out where you can see it. And then do your flowers. Now go ahead and get you some more of these little pink things that I snipped into. Each stem is so long and hanging, you can use about 3. You'll get about 3 pieces of stem off of it. But just it'll help cover in some of the naked spots. There's one there. Might need to find one for over there. And that's the last of the pink that I have. I might stick some white in. And just make sure you get the glue sticking onto your burlap. And the little berries, I call them. The little tiny berries. And I do believe this is finished. This is what it looks like. The finished project. Oh, wait a minute. I had one hanging off here from that I didn't use. Leave a comment. Let me know how you're going to do yours and if you're going to add any eggs or anything. You know what? I think I'll add some eggs and making an Easter. Get kind like these. I have 5 here. And what you need to do, let me take these off. Get 5 stems. When you cut the flowers off of, take the stems and just cut them about like that, maybe 3-4 inches. And since there's 5 eggs, just stick it up in there. Might need to put a little glue. Yeah, stick it up in there and then bend it, depending on which way you want your egg to sit. Let me sit that down a minute. Bring this up so I can show you. Just take it right under the burlap at the end and stick it in. And then put some glue. And that way it'll help add some extra color. And do that all the way around. Okay, this is what it looks like with all the medium-sized eggs glued in, and you put those little stems and glue it on. If you have any strings of glue, like I do, just make sure you just grab it and pull it off. I don't know if it's my glue gun or what, but that happens to me all the time. Alright, well that's it for this project. If you plan on making one, just leave a comment. Let me know if you're going to make one or make a similar one. If you don't find a square wreath form, you can use one of the round ones. That would work just as good. Alright, now let's move on to the next project. Make it tight and then cut off the extra rope. Now go ahead and push it down if it's off and not centered, and then do that to make sure. Okay, so I twist this into so it glues and none of it's sticking out. Put your glue right on the back of the bow. Push down pretty hard. And I go ahead and on these, I fluff the bow while the glue's drying. Alright, now for the boy. There we go. And I'm just using some green, I forgot what they're called, the ties. Just make sure you crunch it together and get it even. Now cut some off. Peg it to the back and twist several times. Now cut that off. Push that over to the side so it's not sticking up. Now I go ahead and fluff. Put your glue down, and this DIY is finished as soon as this bow is dried. Just fluff it. Trying to get that extra piece that's in there at the end of it, of the burlap in the bow, because it's wanting to stick out. And just make these to where you can't see the Chanel stem. That's what it's called. Oh goodness. Here's this one with her cute little new eyes and her little bow. And I should have put one up here and painted that there. That would have been better. But now they're as perfect as when I bought them. Okay, and now for our next DIY. And our next project, we're going to be using these little Easter decor eggs. I did one with ribbon and the male and female bunny, and I just cut off the stick and glued it on, but I'm going to show you how to do this. But the other two, it's going to be with carrots and the ribbon. So go ahead and take your little tag off, leave the thing you hang it with. I'm going to go ahead and put my little safety finger guards on. And this one I have it's the blue truck with the carrots and carrot patch ahead on it. And then on the other side, just going to be using the bunnies with the eggs. And the other narrow is Happy Easter with little eggs on it. And my kittens, if you've been following me talking about them, you know I have 3 of them. But anyway, they get in my stuff sometimes. And anyway, I have these here, the white background with the little eggs. And we're going to start work on the blue one first. So go ahead and just make a little bow. Just about 6 inches. And then go ahead and cut. Now make sure that where you cut at is facing towards the bottom. And just crunch this up. For me, I take some of the ribbon. The little ribbon is what I'm looking for. And just tie it. Go ahead and pull that through. Now make sure that you have the bottom here. See where this is cut? Facing on the bottom, and where this is tied, facing on the bottom. Now take it, fold it, make sure it's even. Okay, so there's that. And then take it, tie it a little bit tighter. There's that side. Twist these to where the front of the ribbon is showing. Now we're going to glue. Make sure this is up out of the way. Get some glue. And just stick it right there. Now go ahead and let that lean up. And we're going to do the other ribbon. Trying to get that to lean up, that way the ribbon won't move while it's drying. Now the other side. Again, just cut it off. Get you some of the other ribbon. That way they can be different. Now make sure this is on the bottom. Crunch this up. Just lay that flat and tie it off. Real tight. Now straighten your bow out. Turn this around. Just twist it. Okay, that side should be dried now, and let's do the other side. Put that ribbon up to where it doesn't get on it, because you want it just in case you want to hang it on something. Now make sure these, put your ribbon right on the other side there. Now twist this ribbon here, hold in that. Okay. Now, it's okay if one side's a little bit bigger on the ribbon, because as you fluff your little bow, you won't be able to tell really. But if you want to get it, you can get one of those little rulers, or one of those plastic school rulers, and you can put your ribbon down on it and measure it out, like when I make those big bows. That came off. I might have to put some more glue on it. I'm just going to push down on it as I'm fluffing the bow. Okay, just check the ribbon. Now, take these, make sure they're flipped over. Just take these and make a shoelace bow. Flip that around. Now, pull this thread here. I'm just flipping it around now. If the ribbon didn't flip right, now go ahead and tighten it up. Now before you cut, measure the ribbon on both sides and make sure they're even. Just a little, make sure it's even. Now cut them off at about the same length, maybe a little bit longer on one side, and cut them at an angle. Now, put this one on this side where the ribbon, I think it'll look better on this side. Put it over here. And let's get some glue on it. Be careful not to burn yourself. side with the other ribbon. Okay. Now let's just make a shoelace bow again. Sometimes I look at it and I see it backwards and it confuses me. Oh, Bo, baby, go on. I mean, Daisy, honey. Okay. Now again, just cut it off. Tight this real tight. Now let's get some glue over here. Turn that little hanger over on the other side. Make sure you don't burn your finger. Now you can get these little finger guards that I have, 3 in a pack, and they come in 3 or 4 different colors. Well, now for $1.25, but that's still cheap. Okay, now that's what it looks like. Let me get my finger on that and just gluing it to the ribbon. Okay. Now, come here, baby. Oh. Sorry about that. That's little Daisy just checking out what I'm doing. They like to get into my crafts. So, we will need 4 carrots, or maybe 2. I'm going to see how they look on each side before I glue them. Maybe 1 or 2. Let's go ahead and do 2. Make sure your ribbon is out of the way. Just hold it to glue. Hold it for it to dry. I said hold it to glue. My goodness. But there's that side. Turn it around. And I think it looks nicer if you put it, I mean, after all, you have ribbon on both sides. You might as well put carrots, because like I did the pink one, I did the bunnies on it, one male, well, 1 female and 1 male. Looks like we're going to have to have this sitting at an angle for it to dry right. Bear with me. Everything isn't always going to be running smoothly. Some things has a little bit of learning to it. These are my first ones I've done. I've used these eggs before, but just plain, you know, as eggs, and I didn't decorate them. So let's just set that off to the side, and we'll put the other two on it after that one dries. And we're going to work with the yellow egg. And okay, for the yellow egg, I'm using, this is the first time I've seen this at the Dollar Tree. Beautiful bunnies and then swirly flowers. I'm going to use that first on one side. And just flip it over. Cut it. And I think I'm going to lay that down. And then, let me trim this. It got snagged somehow. Okay. And just take it the same length. That way they're the same length on each side. Alrighty, now take one, crunch it up. And this one, I'm going to use the Happy Easter with the egg on it. Tie it off. Make sure it's fluffed with the top. Turn these around. Now let's just put some glue on this one. Push it down real good. Be careful not to burn yourself like I did. I'm going to put my finger guards on now. Set that off to the side. Just getting that glue off my thumb. Okay, and on the other one, on this one, I want to use the egg ribbon. And crunch it. Just tie it real tight. Okay. Now, make sure it's even. Glue this one on the other side. Just getting some more glue for my glue gun. let's put that one on. Now make sure the ribbon, the small ribbon, I've just unglued it, but that's alright. Just hold that while you get that ribbon out from under there. Alright. I'm just going to stand this up right there while we make our little ribbons. I'm just using what's left here to make a shoe lace bow. Flip it to where it's inside out, or outside up, I meant. Taking an extra second. I'll just arrange it. Get your pull them and make sure they're flush. On each side. Flip this one to where it's excuse me, to where it's right size up. I had a frog in my throat there for a second. I couldn't talk. Okay, now just cut this one off a little. Flip this one around. The only hard thing about them is flipping them around once they've been pulled tight. Now just use the glue to make that bow flip over if you're having the same trouble as me. These are the only ribbon bows that I make and have so much trouble out of them. So just make it stick in the glue up there at the top to hold it. Okay, now we're going to make one more little bow. Hopefully it goes better. And it has to be a small one too, because this is all the ribbon I have of this. So we'll just make a small one. I'm going to try to make it different. There we go. Now, pull this down a little. Make this one even a lot smaller. And I'm just going to leave this ribbon like it is. Let's get some glue up here. push down real hard for a few minutes. That way you make sure it stays. Now, get your other that we had, and I was letting this sit aside and let it dry. Get your 2 carrots. Put quite a bit of glue to hold them. And push down. Now just set it aside and let it dry, and we will put them on this one. One of these is twisted, so I'm just twisting it around. Now get some more carrots. I'm just putting 1 carrot on each side of this one. Well, wait a minute, I've got some more. I'm going to put 2 carrots, just like on the blue one. Let's set it up and let it be drying. Alright, I'm going to turn it, and we're going to glue the last, because it's pretty dried, so that we can go ahead and start working on the other side. My glue gun, I set the leg in glue, and it was glued to my cardboard box that I set it on. Just put one, and then another one. You don't have to put carrots or the rabbits on if you don't want. You can just do the bows, and just do it that way. I'm sitting up there to let that dry. And we're going to fluff this one just a little bit more. These pretty much fluff themselves, the little ribbon. Alright, now I'm going to start fluffing the tails, the bows on this. Holding that up to where they'll still be drying in the same spot. And you can put more bows on each side instead of just one. You can put 2 and fluff it and make it real big, and then add a lot more of the small ribbon. And you can even use There it is. I'll show it to you in a second. It's called Gem Mesh. That's what they look like. You can use them, and alright, these are done. So we're going to get started on our next DIY. Okay, my next project is these two Happy Easter with the bunny wall signs. The girl's eyes fell off. Well, one of them did, and I couldn't find it. So I took the other off, and I went back up to the Dollar Tree and bought some 125-piece googly eyes. And I have to redo her eyes. And I'm going to take the burlap, or raffia bow, I should say. I said burlap. Bow off the raffia and put on burlap bows. I'm just putting them right back over where they were. And they're a little bit bigger, but they don't have the right size in this pack. But I'm taking these bows off. And the girl, I'm putting a pink burlap bow on. Just a small one. Let's see, I think this size will work perfect. Yes. Okay, and I also have, I had to go get it, some extra pink, the rope. So just get a little bit, twist it around. Tighten the back a couple of times.